Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you supplementary reader. As already I have taught you two lessons of this book. Today I will teach you the third lesson. The topic of this lesson is Ishwaran the storyteller. In this lesson I will teach you how Ishwaran was a good storyteller and how he was telling the story to his master Mahendra. Mahendra was appointed as a junior supervisor and he had to go to different places to do his duty where there was construction sites. Wherever the bridges were made or the factories were made or chemical factories were made, dams were made, etc. Students, this story that Ishwaran had told Mahendra, now Mahendra had told this story to another fellow named Ganesh. This story Mahendra had told Ganesh, as earlier this story was told by Ishwaran to Mahendra. So now students, open your books and let's see the story. Chapter 3rd, Ishwaran the storyteller. The story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man, Mahendra by name. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on hire supervisors at various types of construction sites, factories, bridges, dams, and so on. Mahendra's job was to keep an eye on the activities at the work site. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office, from a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction site, from there after a few months to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. Now, in this paragraph, in the first paragraph, you are studying that Mahendra was appointed as a junior supervisor and he had to go to do his duty to construction sites where railway bridges were made, dams were made, factories were made, or chemical factory was to be established. See further. He was a bachelor, his needs were simple and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odd conditions. Odd conditions? Odd means unusual. Mahendra was able to adjust himself in unusual conditions also. How? Example has been given. Whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of a stone quarry. Makeshift, temporary. Whether he had to live in a ill-equipped, not fully decorated, not decorated well, circuit house, whether he had to live in circuit house that was not fully decorated or in a temporarily made canvas tent house, he was able to adjust. Canvas tent in the middle of the stone quarry. Stone quarry, a place where stone etc. is dug out. He was able to adjust. But one asset he had was his cook Ishwaran. Asset is useful and valuable person. He had a valuable person. He was the cook named Ishwaran. But one asset he had was his cook Ishwaran. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was posted. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes and chatted away with his master at night. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on various subjects. Anecdotes? Short entertaining stories. Wherever Mahendra was transferred, Ishwaran, his cook, was also going with him and he was telling the story to Mahendra at night. Ishwaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere, seemingly appealing to be real. Nowhere, in the middle of a desolate means empty, landscape with no shops visible for miles around. Ishwaran was also expert. The cook Ishwaran was also expert in growing vegetables. At that place where Mahendra had gone, the markets were not nearby. He would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dishes. Conjure up, bring into existence. Delicious, he was making good food with fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc seat shelter at the new workplace. Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. In the morning, his cook, Mahendra's cook, Iswaran, was preparing food, and after taking breakfast, Mahendra was taking food for lunch and he was going on his duty. Now see, during that time when Mahendra had gone to his duty, so what was Iswaran doing? Let's see. Meanwhile, Iswaran would tidy up the set, wash the clothes and have a leisurely bath. Leisurely means freely. When Mahendra had gone to his office, now Iswaran was free and he was bathing, washing plates, washing clothes and doing his duty. And have a leisurely bath, pouring several buckets of water over his head, muttering a prayer all the while. It would be lunchtime by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. Dozing off, he is sleeping. And before lunchtime, as he was reading the books. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running to hundreds of pages. Its imaginative descriptions and narrative flourishes would hold Iswaran in thrall. In thrall, the state of being in someone's power. While he was reading Tamil stories that were thrilling stories, he was feeling excited. His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest of incidents, he would try to work in suspense and surprise, ending into account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, with eyebrows suitably arched and hands held out in a dramatic gesture. Whatever story Mahendra was telling, it seemed that it was a real story. By his body language, by his body expression, he was telling the story. And whatever story Iswaran was telling, Mahendra not, Iswaran was telling, he was expressing his body, he was showing his body expression, and Mahendra, his master, who was a junior supervisor, he believed that the story was really true. And once he was telling the story that he was coming, and on the way he saw that there was a big animal sprawling across the road. You see, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. Sprawled is spread. While he was coming, Iswaran is telling the story to Mahendra, and he was telling that when he was coming on the way, he saw that there was a big animal. It was spread across the road. Really, it was not a beast. You see, I was half inclined to turn and go back. Inclined willing to. Seeing that scene, Iswaran wanted to go back. But as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out. Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair and listen to Iswaran's tales uncritically. Tales story. While Iswaran was telling this story to Mahendra, that he was coming and on the way he saw that there was a very big animal sprawling across the road. But when he reached near, he saw that it was not an animal, but it was a tree that was fallen across the road. Listening to this story, Mahendra did not say something, and he listened to this story very peacefully and silently. Students, in this way, today I have taught you 1.5 page, and in which I have told you how Iswaran was the cook and he was a good storyteller, and he was telling the story to his master Mahendra, who was appointed as a junior supervisor, who was transferred from place to place, and Iswaran was also going with him. Iswaran was expert in growing vegetables, cooking food and doing his work well, and Mahendra was doing his service towards construction sites where factories were established, or the dams were established, or the chemical factories were established. And further I will teach you tomorrow. Thank you. You have to revise the lesson.